Hello, Paul is the best for UK here. Happy Friday and welcome to today's Game of the Day video. Now today's game is a game called, I'm sure you might have heard of it by now, Dizzy 2 Treasure Island Dizzy, or Treasure Island Dizzy for short. So this is on the budget label back in the day, and yeah, our first experience is like most games on the ZX Spectrum. But this is the Amstrad CPC version. I have played the Amstrad CPC version many times as well. But we're going to have a look at that one today. Now, I've got my Christmas special coming up soon. It's on the 25th of December. I think I'm going to be publishing it about 6 p.m. You don't have to watch it, obviously, as I publish it. It's just will be there around about 6 p.m. I'm sure you're probably in your Christmas spirit with your Christmas pudding and stuff, and probably like a couple of shots of Sambuca and like piss down the pub or something, or maybe you're just having a nice quiet one but yeah, that's when Christmas Day special is going to be put on YouTube. So if you want to shout out, if you want any of your YouTube channels shouted out, etc., please let me know as soon as possible. You don't have to have a YouTube channel, just your name will do, and what you want me to say on microphone, and I will be sure to give you a shout out right at the beginning of the video on the introduction sequence. Okay, so now we've got that out the way. If you don't want, just mention it in the comments or just email me at paulisbestfreeuk@gmail.com, and I will be sure to facilitate that for you. And any YouTube channels I shout out in the video, I will also put a direct link to your channel in the video description. So some of my subscribers or some can go to your smaller channels or bigger channels, whatever, if you want me to do so. Okay, so this is Treasure Island Dizzy on the Amstrad CPC. So let's check out the disc contents. I've got the virtual disc already inserted. Well, that doesn't look right, does it? I'm just going to check, see if I have got the right disc in. That does not look right. No, I see what I've done. I've still got yesterday's Game of the Day in there, so let's try that again. Right, there it is, Dizzy 2. So, as usual, just run. You don't need a space after the run, just run speech marks, or whatever they're called, and Dizzy 2. You don't even need this file extension. And it will load up, hopefully. So yeah, as you can see, there it is, Treasure Island Dizzy. Now, one thing I always did notice about the Dizzy games on the Amstrad CPC was they lacked the colour. They had weird colours compared to the Spectrum original. I was going to say originals, but I think they actually started on the Spectrum. Sorry, I think they actually started on the Amstrad. But yeah, red sky and stuff like that loading picture, and Dizzy looks a bit strange to me. This is just to me though, because like I said in the video, I played Spectrum versions first. But let's start the game. So I got some sampled speech right at the start of the game. So this is running on emulated 64K, I think, or is it one? I don't know what it is, but let's start the game. Now Dizzy, it was either a love or hate relationship with this guy and their Yorkford family. So one thing I do notice about the Amstrad CPC version over the Spectrum version, for some reason it's a bit slower. I'm not sure why, because they both use the same CPU, a Zilog running at the same MHD, I believe. Maybe it's something to do with the resolution or something, or like some sort of other custom logic chips. But yeah, this is Dizzy on the Amstrad CPC. And another thing I've noticed about this version, it's just music only, there's no sound effects. And the reason why the Spectrum was able to do the sound effects as well is because later models had the AY chip, but they also kept the 48K 16K beeper function that it had, so you could sort of like combine the AY chip with the beeper sound. So this game and many other Spectrum games actually had both simultaneous music and sound effects, because you could mix the two together and not lose any sound channels on the AY chip, which is pretty darn cool on the Spectrum's part actually. So yeah, Dizzy was an adventure. It had many sequels. It was Codemasters hit classic. It's also got a cult following there. But some people don't like it. Some people hate Dizzy. They hate the way he rolls around, and some people call him an uncontrollable mess. But I've always liked the Dizzy games. I've always really loved them. Now, Dizzy 2 was quite brutal. It was quite... You only got one life, and there was like these hidden traps. Like if I jump up to this screen here, see that cage? Yeah. If I walk underneath it, watch what happens. Dead. You wouldn't have known that was there if you didn't check out the screen above it. So yeah, that's Dizzy 2 was quite brutal in terms of how rock solid the gameplay was, especially if you was new to the game. Like if I walk down here, dead. And you only get one life, like I said. Now you will notice on this screen it says this is designed and programmed by the Oliver Twins. So yeah, it's obviously an Oliver Twins game. They're very famous. They found fame very quickly when they released some sort of other games on the TV, I think, and then they went on to the Dizzy, etc. We've got Neil Adamson for the graphics and music and sound effects, David Whittaker. So only, it looks like by that, only 4 people have made this game, which is quite impressive compared to, it's probably like a entire, like 10,000 people probably would make the latest Call of Duty. I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, that's quite cool. Now you notice on the title screen here, you've also got that snorkel on the right. Now you can use that to go underwater, which I just died on. This to the right. That's if the game. Yeah, you can use the snorkel to go in there. But you'll see at the top you've got an inventory thing and it says you are carrying nothing. Now you get 3 slots for this. See now, I've just picked that up, it says a protected species. But if I press the fire button again, that species protected species will go up, and then it will go up, and then it will go out the screen. And when it goes out the screen, that means you've just dropped it. See there it is dropped. The trouble with this game, you have to think logically as well, this is why it's quite brutal and quite difficult. You can carry 3 things at the same time, but they have to be in the order you want to drop them. So say, for example, where that protected species is, if you're underwater and got the snorkel at that position, and then you pick up something underwater, guess what happens? You drop it underwater, and guess what happens? You're dead. So you have to really think logically. You have to also think about the order that you've got the items in the sort of inventory, which is kind of cool and logical, kind of cool and innovative for the day, but it makes the game very difficult if you're not a good if you're not a good planner of things that are going to happen ahead. Say for example, yeah, I've got the empty solid chest. I've got protected species now. Now that's in a good position because the empty solid chest will evoke first. So if I drop the empty solid chest, if I drop the protected species, and I'll pick up the protected species again, and I'll pick up the empty solid chest. Now it will always only go upwards like that, so it will just drop that first, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's not too bad in normal circumstances, but when you've got that snorkel in there somewhere and you're underwater, yeah, it can be very dangerous. You have to make sure you've got the snorkel in where you want it to be, or you will just be in the deep depths of the ocean. You'll drop the snorkel because it's just gone at the top there, and you'll just die. It will say game over, or it will say game over. It won't say game over, it will go game over, and you will have to start all the way from the beginning. It's like this cage here. Oh shit, I didn't realise that was there. So yeah, that's Treasure Island Dizzy on the Amstrad CPC. Yep, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Absolutely superb. I think I prefer the Spectrum version because of the colours, but most of the rest of it is the same. Like I said earlier, the sound effects are not here, but the AY music is, which is always a good thing. And yeah, so I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a happy Friday night. I'm sorry the video was a bit late again. I'm going to have to adjust something in my setup to try and alleviate that for next week, or at least tomorrow's video. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. So thank you for watching. Bye.